What is going on, Sports Wars? We're here, we're live, and we're ready to fight today already. But we got a couple of things to talk about, including Major League Baseball. After all the effort they went through to make sure that no big games were played in Atlanta, well, it looks like we're going to have at least two big ones down there at some point in the near future. And we got a little bit of Lakers to talk about because the Lakers are already imploding. LeBron James and his leadership somehow just aren't cutting it in LA. And of course, Enes Kanter is calling out China, which right now is just a problem for the Boston Celtics and getting them televised. But I have a feeling if this continues, the NBA is not going to like it. I feel like the NBA may tell Enes Kanter to shut up and dribble. But I guess we'll see what happens. Jeremy, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm loving the Lakers just having all types of problems. I'm loving this Enes Kanter story. And I can't wait for the NBA to tell him to shut up and dribble. Because I know of a few sports channels that are going to take full advantage of that, calling out the NBA's hypocrisy. And it's NFL Sunday. Obviously, I'm going to beat Benny's ass. He's ranked 1. I'm ranked 2. We have a tied record, but he has more points scored than me. I'm going to beat his ass today, and I will be the king of the Sports Wars Fantasy Football League, and nobody's going to catch me.
Who has more points overall in the league still?
You.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You.
Sure.
Yeah. Because I mean, because normally when
also have the most points
500
against me.
Yeah. That's fine. Normally, when teams have a 500 record, that's what they do is they say, well, we scored a lot of points because that fucking matters. It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, what you're still failing to realize, Jeremy,
you are 3 and 3.
Fantasy football, which doesn't work the same way regular sports do. So
who's ranked
overall is actually an indicator of how good your team is.
That's kind of how real sports works too, but you still have to win the games.
No, because that can be dictated on maybe you're behind in a lot of games, so you fucking throw a lot, you get a lot of yards, you end up getting scores in garbage time.
If you have the most points in the league, you typically are one of the best teams in the league.
Right, true, but what I'm saying is that can be affected by your opponents. How many points you have, how many yards you gain can be affected by your opponents. That's not the case in fantasy football. That's what I'm saying.
But that still doesn't matter because at the end of the day, when the season ends in fantasy, whoever still wins the most games is still going to be the team that is at the top of the league.
Yes, I understand that. I had to explain that to you. Yes,
you're just making
I'm just simply pointing out that my team is the best. That I have the best team, and over the season that will play out.
I'm 5-1. You're 3 and 3. Or are you 3? What are you? Are you 3 and 3?
3 and 3.
Yeah,
I'm 3 and 3, and I got
show
fucking more
everybody
last
week.
League.
Show everybody's score. You and Uche that score last week. That was crazy, dude.
And that's what I mean. Like I scored the fucking second most points. And I goddamn near lost.
But Uche kind of got messed up with Nick Chubb, if I'm not mistaken, because Nick Chubb got didn't Nick Chubb
got injured? He got injured.
Injured, and then it was pretty late.
He got pulled out, and Uche fucking swapped somebody in there.
Did he?
Had a good
Oh, I thought he did. I thought he missed. I thought he had Nick Chubb starting still.
No, he did not. He switched him
Okay.
Look at the comments. Tebow argument 2.0. Oh, we haven't got to that yet.
Oh yeah, we got an argument coming up today.
We got a good one.
Stay tuned. We got an argument coming up today, which honestly, it happened between John and Ryan actually, and I said, "Whoa, save it for the show. Save it for the show." So we got a little bit of debate coming up here very soon.
Yeah, I hate looking at this fucking one online. My God. All right, here we go. Like, don't know how to use it. Here, this is how tight it was between me and Uche last week. I won by 0.24. And it all
That's all because Josh Allen didn't score the first down.
It is.
Right?
It legitimately is. If you look at so I was up by like 90 points, but I still wasn't super comfortable because Uche
hang on, this is worth interrupting for. Mike one says, is it okay if I donate $100 to all 3 channels? Yes, it's 100% okay to donate $100 to all of our channels. I don't think anybody here is going to have a problem with that.
No, you can go right to blackandwhitenetwork.com, hit the donation tab, and bam.
All right, go ahead.
So I wasn't super comfortable because I felt okay, but he had Derrick Henry, and he had Josh Allen, and he had Cole Beasley on the Monday night game or the Sunday night game, whatever that was. And I'm going through first half. It's looking okay. Derrick Henry, then he pulls off like a 75-yard touchdown. He gets the bonus points already. I'm like, all right, fuck. Derrick Henry is going to be a problem. And then as I see the score start creeping up and I realize that Josh Allen and Cole Beasley are doing one thing on one side of the ball, Derrick Henry's doing something, I'm like, fuck this. I'm turning it off. I'm not watching anymore. I just started playing video games because I knew it was going to get close and I didn't want to obsess over it. And sure as shit, it comes down to the Buffalo Bills go for it. Instead of tying the game, like if I was watching this game, I probably would have thanked God they stopped him on 4th down. But no, these motherfuckers go for it on 4th down, 4th and 1 on their own on the opponent's 3-yard line instead of kicking a field goal to tie it. And if Josh Allen had punched that in, if Josh Allen had thrown a pass to Cole Beasley, I would have fucking lost. But no, all things stay right with the world, and I beat Uche.
Go ahead and show the overall
thankfully.
rankings. Go ahead and show the overall rankings of the league.
League. There we go. Overall, there you have it. Yeah. Benny and above average, even though I've scored 50 more points than him, right up there. Look at the rest of the league, though. You guys are the only ones at 5-1. Everybody else is fucking 500 or below.
I know.
But look at, I need to find my goddamn points against. I have had more points scored. I have scored the most points in the league. And I have had more points scored against me than I even have points. Like, that's what I mean. It's fucking fantasy bullshit. Like, just I happen upon these teams that are having incredible fucking weeks. It's fucking trash, dude.
Hey, but I've got a good ass bench. I'm set, man. So I'm good. I've got
You've
a good.
had almost
I got
the
a good
least
crew.
points scored against you. No fucking wonder you're 5-1.
Damn
Dude,
right.
Benny, look at this shit. Fucking.
Damn right.
That explains exactly why you guys are 5-1. That's all you fucking need to know. And that's why my team will win out in the end, because consistently this can't keep happening over an entire fucking season. God damn it.
So there you go. There's our fantasy update right there. So
yeah. Let's hit a couple super chats.
You didn't say hi to John. Say hi to the black guy.
I'm not gonna say hi to John, whose fucking dumbass take you had earlier. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, John?
I'm here. Let's get this show on the road, man, because I'm ready to hammer.
He's ready to fight.
The argument we were having backstage.
He's so ready to fight.
He is really ready to fight. He was like, he wants to defend Dwight Howard.
And you know
so
what?
badly.
And you know what? I'm not even a bit Dwight Howard fan. Yeah, he played for the Rock. Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
Sure?
Because we were arguing about Anthony
I know it's
Davis
tough to
making,
remember. I know it's tough to remember like what teams he's been on and everything. It's been what fucking 7 teams in the past like 6 years for Dwight Howard, something like that.
Yeah, my point is, I said that Dwight Howard has had a better career than Anthony Davis and should have made that team before Anthony Davis and Carmelo.
Well, that team. So all right, so we're talking about the top
give everybody context.
The NBA unveiled their like top 75 players, right? So a lot of them are still active players. I think probably too many of them maybe actually active players.
Yeah, Damian Lillard made it.
Yeah, exactly.
He shouldn't be on there before Dwight Howard.
Well, I listen. Dwight Howard had a good like 3-year run where
about 6 years.
He had a good 3-year run. He was never a guy that could for that like 3-year period. That was the only time he could have any offensive relevance at all in any way, shape, or form. He's a great defensive fucking player.
He won
and
three
won
defensive players of the years and got to the NBA Finals as the man. Anthony Davis, before he got to LeBron, accomplished nothing. Nothing. Never won a playoff series. Never. No defensive players of the years. He made all-star teams. That was pretty much it. No way in hell he should have made that team.
He is a better player than Dwight Howard. He is a better fucking player than Dwight Howard. He's a better center than Dwight Howard. No, basically
Anthony Davis
his
is not
entire
even a
fucking
center.
career
He's not even a center.
He plays power forward, center, depending on what the team needs at the time.
Yeah. Okay. But I think what you're saying though is okay. So who's just because someone's a better player doesn't mean they've had a better career. Like I think,
I agree. Like Dennis Rodman had a better career than Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis is a better player.
But Dwight, I hate Dwight Howard. I fucking hate Dwight Howard. Okay, like I hate his guts. Even when he was like the man in Orlando and took him to the finals, I hated that team because he's a guy who has all the ability and he can't actually realize his ability. But I kind of side with John in terms of just Dwight Howard's had a better career at this point than Anthony Davis. He just has. He's had a better career. Close. I think Anthony Davis has more potential, and like if he plays another 5 or 6 years, once he puts up, he'll have a better career than Dwight Howard. But as it stands right now, Dwight Howard's had a better career than Anthony Davis as it stands right now.
Dwight, listen.
Dwight
Howard averaged 20 points 4 times in his 18 year NBA career. 20 points a game 4 fucking times. All right.
Okay.
16 points overall career average, 12 boards career average. Anthony Davis is already averaging 24 points a game, already averaging 10 rebounds a game. Anthony Davis is also, he's not as good as Dwight Howard was defensively when Dwight Howard was at his peak. I'm not going to fucking even deny that. But Anthony Davis is still a very good defensive player. And he hasn't had as many years in the league, but you cannot tell me that you would take Dwight Howard on your team, injuries aside, before Anthony Davis. You can't.
Prime Dwight Howard, prime Anthony Davis. For one thing, Anthony Davis can't stay healthy. And we know what Anthony Davis was like when he was the man on the team. He took his team nowhere. He could not win.
Listen, this is an Eastern Conference where LeBron James got that Cleveland Cavaliers team to the East. Right? Like the Eastern Conference had some really fucking bad teams that were able to make it to the NBA Finals. Dwight Howard doing that, honestly, is not it's not like this huge mark for me in his career.
He was also a league MVP. Anthony Davis has never been close to being a league MVP. Not even in the discussion. James Harden made the list, and he should. Better than Anthony Davis, too. How the hell did Carmelo Anthony make this list over Dwight Howard? Somebody please explain that to me. I need to see ridiculous.
This list. I didn't even see this list. But the Dwight Howard argument's tough because I hate him so bad, and I think that he had so much more potential than he realized. But even with the guy being as lazy and not as dedicated as he should have been, that 5-year run he had was next level for a short period of time.
Yes, he was one of the best players in the league.
He would Dwight Howard was a top 10 NBA player for about 4 years of his fucking career, maybe, right?
Top 10? He probably was even top 5.
Top 3, probably. 3 to 5.
At least 5. At least 5. But who would I take on my team?
There was this fucking aura around Dwight Howard because of what he did in the slam dunk competition, the Superman stuff. The fucking media hyped him up and built him up, man. Like, he had almost no low post offensive game that wasn't just fucking power through people. He never really developed finesse. That was one of the biggest problems he couldn't just do offense by himself. You couldn't just fucking throw him the ball and expect him to do anything other than try to put his shoulder down and fucking hook somebody with their elbow and power through.
But that was Shaquille O'Neal right there. I ain't saying he's Shaq, but that was Shaq doing the same thing.
Shaq developed a lot more finesse than Dwight Howard did.
And Shaq was also lazy on defense too.
Yeah, at times for sure. When I look at Dwight Howard and I look at Anthony Davis, they're like, Dwight Howard has been around the league for fucking 18 years. 18 goddamn years he's been around.
If you are a center, your peak is going to be a lot shorter than like a guard. I mean, that's just the way it is. I'm not saying I can't believe I got to even defend Dwight Howard. I can't believe any reasonable person would think that Anthony Davis, up to this point, has had a better career, because Anthony Davis before LeBron James was pretty much, just an all-star, talented, but he couldn't lead his team anywhere. Also on this list, another problem I would actually take a guy that didn't make this list over Carmelo, and that's Tracy McGrady. Tracy McGrady didn't make the list. I would absolutely take him over Carmelo Anthony.
I would take Tracy McGrady over Carmelo Anthony as well. That's not even a close one for me.
It's not close.
I do not give Dwight Howard some credit. He led his team to the NBA Finals. When we saw what LeBron was able to do in the East with bad fucking teams, like I do not give a whole lot of credit to that argument that because Anthony Davis couldn't get it done with the New Orleans Pelicans team in the Western Conference, right? Where if they had been in the East, fuck, that team may goddamn well have been in the finals compared to some of those other teams. It just, I don't give a whole lot of credit.
The whole thing's tough because if you're asking me who do I take, you have to take everything into consideration. And number one, my hate for Dwight Howard aside, because I despise this dude. If you're asking me who I take, all things considered, that means you have to consider Anthony Davis's injuries. You also have to consider Dwight Howard's lack of, dedication. But if I'm going peak Dwight Howard versus peak Anthony Davis, all things considered, I think I take Dwight Howard. I think I take peak Dwight Howard over peak Anthony Davis, all things considered. Now, if you tell me that I can have Anthony Davis with no injuries at his peak, with no risk of injury, then I'm probably going to take Anthony Davis. But his injuries are part of it, just like Dwight Howard's lack of dedication is part of it. But a lack of dedication, the dude won 3 defensive players of the year.
I think that one of the reasons I agree with the injury part, and I think that's one of the reasons you didn't see fucking like that many defensive player of the accolades, because when somebody fucking ends up playing 60 games, it's hard to get a season long award. But no, I would not take Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, I think, was a product of an extremely bad Eastern Conference, and you're really not going to change my mind too much on that. Is
my boy Penny Hardaway here? Hell no.
No, he's not on
bullshit. Shouldn't be, but
Penny would have been on there.
Penny would have, yes.
If he didn't get hurt.
The fact that they didn't even rank this is bullshit too.
Well, that just goes into
they didn't even do it on the top 50. I mean, it's just an alphabetical order.
Trying to see.
Yeah, like
Reggie Miller. He made it. Well, he should. He was a bit overrated, but I'm good with him.
Where's Brian Scalabrine?
Not on there.
Hey, he's too great for this list, man. He's too great for the list.
Paul Pierce is on there.
I always thought he was a bit overrated.
No Grant Hill? Yeah, I mean, I guess
Grant's another guy, man.
Grant Hill would have been top. Grant Hill could have been top 10 all time if he wouldn't have had injuries.
Yeah, a lot of injuries, man.
Like the Carmelo Anthony one. Carmelo Anthony and Damian Lillard. I assume Steph's on here, right?
Yeah, Steph's on there.
Klay Thompson did not get it, and there's a lot of people that were very upset.
Yeah, he was butthurt, but I don't have a problem with him not making it.
Yeah.
I mean, Klay.
I agree.
He's only had like what?
But this kind of goes into
4 good years.
This kind of goes into the point of why like Dwight Howard should be above or should be on here and Anthony Davis shouldn't, because who's a better player? Like Grant Hill's a better player than a lot of these people, but he didn't have the career. Man. But he didn't have the career to equal a lot of these people. But he's a far better player.
Well, but his injury. So Anthony Davis's injuries keep him off the court for a week or two at a time. They don't ruin him as a player. Grant Hill's injuries ruined him as a player. Grant Hill's injuries made it so that he was not, like his knees, he could not do the same things that he could before. He was not nearly as productive after he recovered from injuries. Whereas Anthony Davis, it's like, oh, Anthony Davis tweaked his fucking ankle. Anthony Davis fucking tweaked his wrist, and he comes back and he's still averaging 28 and 12.
That's fair.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and remember, this is 75 years, and honestly, I haven't heard of all of these players, like Bill Sharman. But in his day, Bill Sharman was really good. Of course, never saw him play. Just keep that in mind right there. Some of these guys are just no doubters. I mean, Akeem, Shaq, George Mikan, that's no doubters.
Robert Parrish is on there. Robert Parrish made it, huh?
Definitely top 75.
I love Robert Parrish.
Yeah,
but
I mean, Russell Westbrook over Dwight? Nah, I can't go with that.
Oh.
I mean, if you just look at the athlete players and compare them, I think that's really the only way, because everybody's going to agree with Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic. That's no doubt right there.
75th anniversary team. So what is like the actual, like the 75 best players? Is what they're saying? The best players who have played
in NBA history.
Yeah, the thing with Russ is with the fucking triple-double run that he went on, that was absolutely insane. That's a tough thing for the NBA to ignore.
Yeah, but then the NBA realized, well, it's overrated. He couldn't get one MVP vote, and he's been averaging a triple-double. But
and MVP is fucking, listen, MVP is what it is. MVP is a very flawed fucking system.
Yeah,
MVP ends up being the people with the best stories on the best team. Michael Jordan didn't win MVP every single fucking year when he should have.
Steph Curry won the undisputed MVP and Michael Jordan didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck that.
And that's what I mean. So like by going off, this guy never won an MVP, this day and age with the way that it's marketed and the way these fucking journalists, I do not put much credence in that. Because you've seen players that aren't the best player that year, but their team happens to be having a great season that end up getting MVP consideration.
Marvelous. Right. Dirk is on the list. Dirk is
he's
right below Steve Nash and above Akeem Olajuwon. On the third row. Third column.
In alphabetical order, by the way. This ain't a ranking.
Yeah.
No Rafer Alston, no.
No Rafer. I like Rafer.
All right, well, this was a good fucking distraction. But maybe that's what this fight was about. Maybe that's what this fight was about. And when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers, not only are Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard fighting over who should be on the top 75 list, but they're also fighting in real life. 2 games, ladies and gentlemen. 2 games. This is really 1.5 games into the NBA season. And LeBron's incredible leadership has already resulted in this. Not only did they lose a close one to Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, but then the next game against the Phoenix Suns, where they were getting blown out at halftime, this is what it looked like on the bench.
This is how it began, Doris.
Yeah. Anthony goes over to Dwight. When Dwight stands up, Anthony puts his hands on him, and that seems to agitate Dwight Howard. And this is how it began.
There you go. They're already fighting.
You should have found a 30-second clip, because you can see they're going to the bench. Dwight Howard is high-fiving his teammate. Anthony Davis is just mad and goes right into his grill when Dwight Howard sits down on the bench and just invades his space.
Yeah, and then Dwight Howard gets up and then gets shoved down like he should. Because Anthony Davis says, yeah, you didn't make the 75 team, did you? Get out!
No, that's I have sources that have informed me that basically that was an argument that apparently Anthony Davis is pro Dave Chappelle, and Dwight Howard's standing for trans rights. So I don't know.
That's true.
You can take from that what you want, but that's just sources that Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard fighting over the Dave Chappelle Netflix situation. So there you go.
And I'll be real, like Anthony Davis is not somebody that has these types of like emotional outbursts very often.
No, not at all.
Like
not
at all. Dwight Howard is. Dwight Howard has been. We've seen him get into it with people from time to time. Anthony Davis is not. LeBron James sitting over there, fucking looking at his leadership ability as these guys fight, as Rondo and Westbrook are like wandering around, lost on the court together. The Lakers, I'm sure they'll figure it out. But for right now, it's funny that the Lakers are already imploding.
I see you, chat. Chat got my joke. Chat got.
I'm gonna point that out. I'm gonna point that out. Go back to that screen again. This always just irritates me. Pull it up. I'm gonna show you. Where is that guy? Blow it up. Go to the end. I think it's close to the end. This guy right here in the red. Stop. Nothing irritates me more than these people. You can wear a mask if you want to, but why in the hell do you always have it like down beneath your mouth? What's the point of wearing it then?
Well, I think it's because he's on the bench and he has to. I think they're fucking required if they're not in the game.
Well, see, you're
really getting protection by having the mask way down here at your chin.
Well, so as a person that's from Texas, you probably don't. I'm from Florida, so like when you go to places that require this dumb shit, like you do. I did that when I was in like Vegas and shit. Like you just because you have to pull it down. Like
you don't care.
Yeah, because it's so. Look at this guy. Is that Eminem? Is that
no? But watch, I love this. Look at his reaction. He's watching him, just eating.
But believe it or not, we got a lot of people that still wear masks out here, but nobody gives a shit if you don't wear one.
But saying but like when places that force that shit, you know, like
no place forces it out here in Texas.
So I know. Same, but well, a few places in Florida do, but I don't go to those places.
That's right. They lost your business.
It's nice to be in a free part of the country.
All right. We got a couple super chats. Pee Wee Pierre for 5. As much as I hate the Braves, it serves the MLB right for moving a meaningless game out, but for the most important games to be played in the same city. We are definitely going to talk about that later. We're going to run through some of these super chats and talk about it because how ironic for Major League Baseball. Blue-Eyed Scorpio for $2. Jeremy is tops of all leagues in invalid points. Thanks, Blue-Eyed Scorpio. Lulu Blue is here for $20. Happy Lulu to the amazing trio. Is there Sports Wars merch? We need to get some rolling, that's for sure.
Well, so we're in the process of probably switching over to another place, and then we're going to launch a lot of new merch as well. So thank you for purchasing the Geeks and Gamers merch, Lulu. I saw you tweeted that out yesterday. Thank you for all your support for Ryan, RK Outpost, Patriot Outpost, always supporting Jay, Drunk 3PO. It's great. So thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lulu. Mike Hill, member for 9 months, says, do you think Klay Thompson should have made top 75? We talked about that a little bit. Like, I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We didn't talk about him, but no, I don't think so.
I think that, if Klay was on another team, like Klay was on another team and like he was the guy, he may be better. He may be worse. It's kind of tough to tell what he would do like away from that scenario.
Yeah.
But maybe if he was on another team where he was kind of the guy, I think people would think about it that way. But even with his numbers and his stats.
And to be completely honest, if this was another era of basketball, let's say this was 1990s basketball, no in hell, I believe Steph Curry's a top 75 player. He has definitely benefited from the rules today, the way the game is played.
I still say Steph Curry is one of the most overrated basketball players of all time.
Yeah. And again, that's because of so much of the media attention and how much the media wants to tell that story and how much they want to push someone. And when Steph was rocking and rolling, that was everything. Like every fucking sports center was focused on what Steph Curry did that night, how far he fucking shot from the hoop, his little shimmy, everything.
He was still getting praise last season for not even making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's just I can't stand.
They just glowed on him, man.
I can't stand how much hype he got. And again, I will never forgive Steph Curry. And I know it's not his fault per se, but he's the first undisputed MVP in the NBA history. A league that Michael Jordan played in. If Michael Jordan couldn't do it, then no fucking body deserves that shit. I don't care what the circumstances are. Never, ever will I accept that. It's such bullshit.
Well, it depends on the year. So, like, think about, like, Shaq. Like, none of Shaq's years, where he was just so fucking dominant in those early 2000s. None of those. He could have got undisputed MVP. No, Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And it would be, I guess it'd be another thing if everybody else was literally just dog shit. But I don't feel like that was the case. Lar, 1996 for $20. Thank you so much, Lar. We appreciate that. Gerald Armstrong for $5. What's up, Gerald? I'd rather see Melo on all-time USA Olympic team than the 75th anniversary team. Carmelo is potentially the greatest Team USA basketball player of all time. I will. That
ain't saying much. That ain't saying much.
No, but like he always brought it. Like always, which you can't say for a lot of these fucks on Team USA.
He's doing great against Angola. Great.
But
what I'm saying is, like, he's someone who actually cared about that and got up for it. as opposed to a lot of these other people who fucking cruise through, which he decided to cruise through his NBA career instead.
That's true. That is true.
Adam Washington for 5. I'm passing on Madden 22 like I did Madden 21. Thoughts on that? Madden 20 was my last game. Also, you're going to watch AEW Full Gear.
I haven't played a Madden in a long fucking time. I still think Tecmo Super Bowl is the greatest football game ever made. That's the second one. I mean, the first one was fantastic too, but the second one actually kept up with your season statistics, which kind of took it to the next level. I've heard you can emulate like Tecmo Super Bowl with like current rosters. I want to actually do that. Maybe me and Ryan can play against each other or something like on Twitch. But that would be cool. I mean, so I just don't. It's probably been 6 or 7 years. It's probably been longer than that, honestly, since I've really played a Madden, because they really just were. They were getting so repetitive and so pointless, and the monopoly that they have on the league on video games is just, it's trash. So I don't play them.
I got Madden, I think Madden 19 maybe, whatever the one was where they introduced like the actual storyline, kind of like 2K, NBA 2K has. That was the last one I played. But yeah, they put no effort and no money into it. It's just fucking recycled to get people to buy it again.
Yeah.
So Manzak for 5. Another reason why Orlando made it to the finals in 2009 is because they were very smart with the team that they built around Dwight. I think some things just kind of fell into place for them. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get a team where either the competition isn't great. Rashard Lewis had the best fucking 2 years of his career, you know, while he was playing for the Magic. Jameer Nelson played and well for what they needed him to do while he was chomping on that fucking mouthpiece. And it's before Glenn Baby Davis decided to, you know, use his talents to scheme the NBA healthcare system.
Big baby.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot. Orlando had so many bad players, players that I didn't like. Like everybody that played there,
like Jameer Nelson, you just hated his face.
I hated everybody for the Magic, even when they were good. I hated all of them. And
what's
I love
the European guys?
So.
The European guy's name for that team?
Hedo Turkoglu.
Exactly. Hedo Turkoglu played a long fucking time in the NBA. He drove some people crazy.
I hated Gilbert Arenas. I never even liked T-Mac. I know a lot of people love T-Mac. I respect his game.
I was a big
I respect his game. I respect.
Well, when he went to Houston, I had to imagine.
Yeah.
Tracy McGrady did some stuff that was unbelievable, man.
He was tremendously talented, and then injuries took him out.
How many points? Didn't he score like 13 points in like 30 seconds at one point? That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was I remember insane. That was in 2004. I remember that. That was against the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Against the Spurs.
Crazy. It was crazy.
And you know
JJ Redick. Yeah, they had JJ Redick.
My boy JJ. I love my boy JJ Redick. Now that was my boy, and then they got rid of him. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
I love JJ Redick. JJ Redick had like this insane run of like 10 straight years or 12 years, like his first 12 years in the NBA. Every fucking season, he improved his points, rebounds, and assist totals. Like every fucking year, like just very gradual. It was kind of crazy.
Yep.
I like JJ Redick. I liked him because everybody hated him because he was white. So then I liked him.
Yeah.
When he played for Duke. Manzak for 5. I'm gonna be honest. I think Carmelo was in a better situation to win a championship in Denver. Well, what do you mean than Dwight in Orlando? But the problem again is that fucking Western Conference was fucking cutthroat. And I think they got to the Western Conference Finals one year in Denver against the Lakers.
He got there one time.
It played the Lakers, right? When the Lakers went on to win.
Yeah, and I believe that's the only time he ever advanced out the first round.
Yeah,
before he started teaming up with people.
If you go through a lot of like these fucking from like the past 15 years, a lot of these players that we consider like really good, like the Chris Pauls of the world and things like that. Chris Paul fucking struggled for forever to get out of the first round again. He's in a fucking buzzsaw Western Conference. And that's just part of it. You have a lot of those players that are in that category. Eli Saul for 5, wishing everyone good luck and call Anthony Davis by his real name, Street Clothes Davis.
Street Clothes.
That's right. That is a good
It's only a matter of time before he gets injured.
Mike Hill for 5. How did Dennis Rodman make the list?
I mean,
that's a completely different era that he played in from. You can't compare him to today. Dennis Rodman was the thing.
I would
force.
I think Dennis Rodman is a Hall of Famer for sure, but I don't think he's one of the 75 best players to ever play. Do you know what I mean? It's so strange. It depends what your fucking category is. If it's players' careers, then you know what? No active players should really be on this list because their careers haven't been finished yet, with the exception of maybe like LeBron or someone like that who's solidified in what he's done in his career. So
I mean, yeah, Dennis Rodman is not the guy. Like, and again, for people that didn't watch Dennis Rodman, he's never ever going to be someone that's going to carry a team to a championship.
No,
he was never that guy.
But he is a
rebounder
major of all time.
piece. Like, he is a massive piece to the puzzle. Like, it's hard to kind of explain how big of a piece of the puzzle he was.
Huge,
because he was so
defensive presence.
Yeah. Defensive and defensive presence and rebounds were insane.
Did someone say he would dominate the paint at 6'4" ish? You think Dennis Rodman was 6'4"? Is that what you're saying in the chat?
Dennis was he was what, 6'8"?
6'8", yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The best rebounder I ever saw.
Yeah.
I mean, he's phenomenal.
If you try to compare, you can't compare. Well, I guess you can make a comparison to Russell and them getting 22 rebounds, but they had so many more possessions back then. I mean, it was a completely different game. But Rodman would go in. He was averaging like 19 rebounds a game some seasons.
He was a monster.
He was a monster.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just he hustled. Like, Dennis Rodman, I've heard stories from when he was in was it college maybe? And he would go and watch people shoot and fucking like kind of take notes on if you were shooting from a certain place, what was the most common like place that it would go. You know what I mean? Like, he would legitimately do that and try to position himself in the best place possible. He studied the art of rebounding, which isn't something that a lot of people do.
Nope.
But it's something that he became, one of the greatest we've ever seen to do it, by making himself do that, which is incredible. Robin was 7'2" in heels.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Mike Hill for $5 as my sources say they were fighting over the new Superman. I bet that Dwight Howard is totally on board with bisexual John
Superman.
Kent.
Yeah,
that's true. Manzak for 20. I knew chemistry was going to be a major weakness for this team, but do you know what the real problem is? Frank Vogel. There's a reason why Indiana fired him. Very surprised LA didn't get rid of him last season. LeBron James will fire Frank Vogel this season.
100%.
That's what 100%. LeBron James does. That's the reason why Frank Vogel's still there, so that LeBron can fire him in the middle of the season to have an excuse. Mark my words. Manzak for another 5. Old school National League rivalry taking place in the World Series, and I'm all for it. It's true. Yeah, the Astros were in the National League for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
A pretty fucking long time. Blue-Eyed Scorpio, and I just said that one. Let me check this, and then I want to get to that story. Check Streamlabs real quick. Your black nerdy homie for $5 says, here's a contribution towards a pink coat to complete Ryan's disrespectful dancing Jackson Mahomes 2021 Halloween costume. Ryan is going to be that in costume. Blessings, Jeremy and John, for the great Sunday content. Hashtag Sports Wars. I'll dance on Sean Taylor's shit if you pay me $100 something. I'll go fucking right now. And we're all caught up. All right, let me get to find where it is.
And I see everybody in the chat. We've got a great turnout today. Thank you so much. Don't forget tonight on the main Geeks Gamers channel, playing Mario Kart. Also be live on Twitch as well. The team will be there. Be a lot of cussing, a lot of yelling, because that's what we do. So hope you guys will join us a little bit later.
Absolutely. And we finally have our World Series matchup. It's going to be the Houston Astros versus the Atlanta Braves. After the Braves defeat the Dodgers, Astros eliminate the Red Sox. But really, the bigger story in this World Series matchup is the Atlanta Braves. Because you might remember a couple months ago, there was a big story when Major League Baseball decided to virtue signal so hard because it just wouldn't be right to have the All-Star game in Atlanta because, heaven forbid, some BS argument you're trying to push about voting rights. So they moved it to the whitest city on earth, Denver, Colorado, and cost black owners of local businesses millions and millions of dollars in the city of Atlanta. And now what happens? The biggest games of the year, at least 2 of them, are guaranteed to be played in Atlanta. John, what do you think about this? I know you did a video for Black and White earlier today. How hilarious
I
is
love
this?
it. This is so funny, and you guys know that I'm an Astros fan. I'm not rooting for the Braves, but if the Braves did win the World Series, I wouldn't even be mad because this is a huge black eye to Rob Manfred, Stacey Abrams, and all these other crazy far leftist politicians that wanted to destroy black businesses in Atlanta. They got what they wanted at the time. Now they may actually end up having to pay the price. The chickens are coming home to roost, and I'm loving every single minute of this.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, now again, I don't follow baseball like I used to, but obviously this story was such a big story. And yeah, I mean, this is this virtue signaling nonsense, man. This is why we continue to call it out. We're so tired of the hypocrisy from these left-wing nut jobs out there. And to watch this play out is beautiful karma. It's beautiful. And, you know, obviously, I am a big-time Braves fan because I have the hat that I wear all the time. But in all seriousness, you know, I hope this goes 7 games so that the Braves can maximize. So who's the home team?
It'll probably be the Astros.
It's Astros.
Yeah.
So let's go 7 games so we can at least get 3 games there. You know, in Atlanta, and I hope for. The biggest thing too is I hope that those business owners that were completely fucked over by Major League Baseball really benefit from this more so than anything, because that's where this virtue signaling nonsense, like it hurts so many people that these people on Twitter, the blue-haired land whales, don't even pay attention because they don't care, because all they're worried about is the narrative. They don't even think about the real-world impact of some of this nonsense, this nonsensical virtue signaling. So I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it is awesome. And it's just so ironic that they went through all those hoops, jumped through all those hoops to virtue signal when they were being pressured by the administration to do so. And now here you are. Karma is a real thing. Mm-hmm. And just to talk about the actual matchup real quick, the Braves is the first time they've been there since, I believe, 1999. Yep. You know, it's been a long time for them, for a historic franchise. So they're back with all those things, and they had to deal with some injuries this year, all of that. They got through it. I didn't think they were going to be here, but, you know, they made it. When it comes to the Houston Astros, John, you know this. The Astros, I feel like they're going in with the chip on their shoulder after everything that has happened and all the boos that they've heard throughout Major League Baseball over the past 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, guys, anybody that was thinking that cheating scandal was really the reason why they won the World Series, then you're pretty ignorant about baseball. The Astros are very, very, very well run. I mean, they have great players. If you look at the Astros lineup, 1 through 7. Is insane. This is the greatest hitting team with 2 outs I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Yuli Gurriel is the AL batting champion. Guess where he's batting in this lineup? He's batting 7th. Yeah. 6th or 7th. I believe it's 7th. That is insane. Yordan Alvarez is looking like Babe Ruth. He batted over 500 in the ALCS. He was the MVP. And the Astros don't even have their best pitcher. And if you want to throw Verlander in there too, because Verlander was injured the whole season, McCullers doesn't look like he's gonna be pitching in the World Series. But Luis Garcia was amazing. Framber Valdez was amazing. I mean, this team is the real deal. Yeah, Jim Crane is a really good owner.
They are loaded with talent. They not only did they tank to get the talent, you know, years ago. At least some of the talent, but then they also brought people in that were pressing forward on things, whether it was about analytics, whether it was about how they train people, whether it was about the approaches they take in the front office. The Astros were really on the cutting edge of that. However, I saw someone in the chat said stealing signs doesn't affect anything. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because why would anyone do that? The Astros are basically one of the top 5 talented teams in baseball and have been for the past 5 years. However, if stealing signs didn't affect anything, why would anyone go through the hassle of stealing signs? I don't think that stealing signs are the reason the Astros won the World Series, but they did steal signs in a way that is pretty fucking shitty, during that. And that's why they got a black eye,
But you also got to remember 2017, I mean, the sign stealing stuff was happening at home. When you're on the road, you cannot do that.
Correct.
When the Astros won the World Series in 2017, they won Game 7 on the road.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, so you can take one game or whatever, but you can't deny that they did cheat while they were home.
Well, I think they won 2. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they won 2 games in that series.
He was being sarcastic when he said that, Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Yeah, the sign stealing stuff, for those of you who aren't familiar, they had a camera pointed at the catcher's mitt or at the catcher's hands, and then they had it to a closed circuit television between like the dugout and the locker room. And then based on whatever the sign was, they would bang a trash can before the pitch. So like that's the level that we're talking about. But obviously they got caught. They got punished. Some people don't think they maybe punished hard enough. But this is a big redemption for them, obviously.
The only reason why
thinks about it.
The only real reason why they were getting a lot of backlash is because they won the World Series and they keep beating the Yankees every single season, even though, and I believe these teams have gotten a pass, the Yankees and the Red Sox, both in 2017, got busted for using technology stealing signs as well. But nobody talks about that.
The Red Sox specifically, this ALCS was the Red Sox and the Astros, the 2 teams that had the most, I would say, advanced cheating scandals. But like both of them.
Let me ask you this: so, as someone doesn't follow baseball anymore, how does this Astros cheating situation compare to, say, the Patriots situation? And when I say that, I mean obviously the Patriots are talked about as cheaters because they're just the best. But if you look at the entire league, the Patriots are not that big of cheaters. They're just viewed that way because they win. So how does this Astros? Is that how this Astros thing does? Because
I disagree a little bit with that.
It's going to be a little different because no matter what, it's much harder to hit a baseball than, I don't even think it's really kind of a fair comparison, because even in the report with the Astros, they said sometimes the pitching is just too good. I mean, they couldn't do it on every single play. I mean, crowd noise. I mean, so many variables, really.
Yeah.
It's hard to compare.
I mean,
I guess the difference would be at like the level of cheating that you're talking about. Sign stealing is a thing in Major League Baseball, and like it's part of the game, 100%.
Yeah. And however, they didn't do it on every single batter as well.
Well, Altuve reportedly didn't like it happening. So,
there's a great video about that too with Altuve, how
he didn't want it. Yeah.
Like they would only do it, like he would actually walk away, step out the batter's box if he heard.
He would get mad. He would get mad if he heard the trash can.
He wanted no part of that.
Correct.
But some teams are starting to catch on the banging.
Yeah. So
so they would change signs a lot. So it kind of really it benefited them, but not as much as you think it would.
Come on.
Because of the change in signs.
Once people realized that, it seems like these guys fucking know what's going on. A couple people started changing signs when they heard that trash can. Like one team specifically caught onto it. But sign stealing is a part of baseball. It always has been. But what hasn't been a part of baseball is someone using a fucking camera to a closed circuit television and then signaling the player via fucking trash can banging while they're at the plate. That is not. That is beyond the fucking scope of what anybody else was doing in the league, with the exception of then the Red Sox when Alex Cora went there and brought that system with him as well. So
and they won in 2018 with him, right? But nobody's questioning him, right?
Exactly.
Just throwing that.
I made videos about it.
I mean, my view on it is, and again, just in general, like all teams are cheating. It's just who's going to get caught. That's really what it comes down to.
Every single team in all the sports is looking for some kind of advantage.
Oh, 100%.
And for some of these players to act all high and mighty, especially in baseball, you better watch yourself, because I'm pretty sure your team is doing something.
Yeah.
Well, and some of those guys, like the Astros pitcher, came out and said what happened. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he told the whole story because he felt fucking guilty as shit about it.
And then
about
at that,
what his team was doing.
With the Astros, there's only 4 or 5 players left in that 2017 team.
Mm-hmm.
They just really run well.
Yeah, Altuve, Correa,
Gurriel,
and
McCullers, but I think McCullers didn't even pitch in that World Series, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the World Series match. I'm sure we'll clip out a part of that for and put it up because it's a big story. The fact that woke Major League Baseball kind of got their comeuppance with that shit. Where am I over here? Why did this jump up like that? Both teams have their own types of redemption heading to the World Series. I have a feeling this is going to end in a crazy finish, says Manzek for 5. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Shane Bentley.
Somebody asked earlier if I was going to be watching the was it
AEW,
the next AEW pay-per-view. I'll be honest, like I'm kind of losing interest in AEW for one main reason. I'm really fucking tired of Happy to Be Here CM Punk. I really don't like Happy to Be Here Punk. I need angry, edgy, fuck the world Punk, and this whole like good guy persona. Like, and I get it. I know what he's doing, and I'm happy he's doing. He's developing young talent. He's doing a great job at it. And Punk can't walk into this company after being the guy who was so anti people like The Rock and Brock Lesnar that didn't earn their way up in the WWE. He would bitch about that. So he's actually putting his money where his mouth is. He's putting young talent over right now. I need to see angry Punk. So this Happy to Be Here Punk, I lose interest big time. So, but overall, AEW's doing a great job. Bryan Danielson's doing awesome. I think they've got a lot of momentum, but I want Tony Khan to shut the fuck up, and I want him to stay off camera. Like these post-show interviews where Tony Khan's sitting there with the wrestlers and laughing and all that, that's breaking character, man. Just, I don't need to see that stuff, like leave the element of, storytelling out there. I don't like them doing that. But overall, I mean, AEW is doing a really good job, so I'm happy for them. I'll probably check pay-per-view out for sure.
I think that I don't care about AEW, and the only time I have cared about it is when someone relevant from WWE came over. So, they were relying on those for a lot of pops. Now you got to keep people interested. With the people that you currently have there.
Punk is so fucking over that I get it. I understand it. He is so over. I haven't seen anybody this over in a long time. Like, it is insane how over he is, but I just miss that kind of the one that had the chip on his shoulder. And again, he doesn't really have a reason to do that. I think what he's doing is great though. And he's staying true to his word and true to himself and what he's doing. And earning his way up the ladder instead of just walking in and going, I'm CM Punk, which is consistent with who he's always been. So I think, next year at this time, we'll have Angry Punk, and it'll be a lot better.
Let's hope so. Shane Bentley for $10. Let's go Braves. Like Ryan is talking about right now, I truly hope the Braves take it to Major League Baseball, tell them to screw off. Hank Aaron deserved to be honored in Atlanta. That's true. Hank Aaron.
Yeah, God, that was weird watching that in Colorado.
Yeah,
it didn't make any sense.
So disrespectful, so fucking disrespectful. These pieces of garbage. But when you focus on all that shit, that's what happens. When you bend the knee to a administration that wants you to move it. Prodigal Heel for $5 says, "Let's go, Brandon Belak. Let's go, Brandon Belak." Who's a pitcher for the Astros, right?
Brandon. I do want to show this since we're talking sports really quick. This is Ryan's favorite thing in the history of professional wrestling. Right here. This is beautiful. So this is this is on Barstool Sports Wrestling Show, and that's MJF, who's going to be one of the great heels, I think, down the road. But so he's roasting Barstool employees. So Brandon's there with a picture of him. Listen to how savage MJF is.
That's me. That's in my house in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey. I have a nice house with a fence. See that?
So I want you to. I'm just gonna shoot straight with you.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't get upset.
I'm not.
Promise.
I can take it.
Okay, good. I want you to get cancer.
Like cancer, or just like
terminal,
like kill me cancer.
terminal.
6 months?
I'm looking at this photo, and I wouldn't even want you to have 2 days. I hope to God that your hot wife moves on fast. But I can assure you that looking at this photo, there's no way it's going to take a long time. I see the outline of your penis in your shorts, and it is underwhelming to say the least. Your balls are 3 times the size of your penis. The ratio is god awful.
Okay, I got it. Everybody else, you gave like 1 roast. You
literally look like cottage cheese distending out of that t-shirt.
Wait, what? I thought we were. That's me too. I photoshopped abs. Can I be honest?
I want to take back what I said.
I think I photoshopped your abs in.
I want you to die right now.
It's so good, dude.
You did like all of Barstool too.
Yeah,
through all of them with just the most unflattering pictures possible.
Yeah, and Brandon was like, at some point, he's like, "We're not a good-looking company." Like, it was so good, dude. Love it.
Yep.
MJF.
Matt G for 2. You remember Astros Braves playoffs, 97-05 era?
I remember that. I remember that 2005.
The Jeff Bagwell.
That was Bagwell's day. Yeah.
Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that 2005. I can't remember which game it was. It went like 14 innings or something. It was insane.
We got for the NL Central for a while too, right? Because we played you guys all the time.
Yeah, we were in the same division with the
Cubs. So I had watched a lot. I think I went to an Astros game actually at Wrigley back in the day.
I'm not gonna lie, man. It's still kind of weird that the Astros are in the AL.
Yeah,
I mean, ever since the 1960s, they've been.
Wait a minute, when did that happen?
Like 2008 or 10 or something.
When Drake McClain sold the team, MLB threw a condition in that, all right, you guys need to move to the AL.
Yeah, because I mean, Jeff Bagwell did Jeff Bagwell win MVP? I know he was always in consideration. So he won. Yeah, so because being in the National League, like that was always so identifiable. You know what I mean? So
yep.
2013.
Yeah. I'm so checked out on baseball, man.
He was in the NL at first base, and Frank Thomas was in the AL. They were the 2 best first basemen.
All I'm saying is make baseball great again. Bring back steroids. Bring back Barry Bonds looking like The Rock, and I'll start watching. And by the way, the fact that Barry Bonds doesn't get the respect that he deserves is bullshit. Fuck baseball. Barry Bonds is the greatest player I've ever seen. Griffey might slightly be a little bit better talent, but
I'm
injuries,
a Griffey guy.
Injuries. If without injuries, Griffey probably puts up like say numbers or bigger numbers than Bonds. But Barry Bonds' ability to make contact is insane. Like he was getting intentionally walked more than any player.
The bases loaded.
He was getting intentionally walked with the bases fucking loaded, and he was still hitting record numbers.
It sucks for some of these guys that they used. Like it really does. Like it sucks that Barry Bonds used because then you can't truly appreciate what he did and know what he did because he, like you said, Jeremy, his ability, his training that they used to have when he was trying to identify pitches and things like that, and his hand-eye coordination was fucking phenomenal. Next level.
Yeah, it was next level.
But unfortunately, when you do something like that, then it kind of puts everything. What was, if I just had baseline Bonds for his whole career, what would it have been?
I still say that's why you got to give Griffey a lot of credit. Cause I mean, based on everything we know, he didn't use, and if he would have used, he probably would have gotten far less injuries, or at least would have overcome those injuries a lot quicker. But didn't Griffey still put up? Did he pass Willie Mays on the all-time home run list? It was close.
Willie Mays had what, 606 or something?
Yeah.
No,
Willie Mays has more than that.
Willie Mays has 660. Willie Mays, I think Willie Mays has 660. I know Griffey has over 600. I don't know if he passed Willie Mays.
630. He's got 630.
Okay. And Willie Mays has 660.
Think of this. We're living in a world where Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens is not in the Hall of Fame, but Mike Mussina is. Mike Mussina is not a Hall of Famer. Good pitcher, not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I remember Mike Mussina back in the day. I mean, yeah, but that's just that was my baseball. Like Oral Hershiser is man. Back in the day, I loved that.
I like
dude.
Oral.
Ricky Henderson. I loved Ricky Henderson. Arrogant as fuck. Greatest leadoff man ever. But I wish I could get back into baseball, man. I really do.
Just do it.
I don't know.
Just pick a player, Jeremy. Pick a player.
I got the Braves hat. So it's funny because I liked the Braves when I was really young. Dale Murphy, Bob Horner, and all of that. And then they started winning, and I stopped liking them because no fucking body talked about the Braves. Okay, I grew up in Alabama, right on the border 90s. Of Alabama, Georgia, and as soon as they started winning, holy fuck! Like as an Alabama fan, like when Alabama, because I mean, obviously Alabama won the '92 national championship. That's kind of the first. I mean, that was the first prominent thing that happened to me. But after that, Alabama went to the gutter for a long time. The Alabama fan base has always been very strong. The Braves fan base was non-existent until they started winning. And holy fuck, if it didn't turn into every fucking body was a Braves fan then. I'm like, good Lord, this is insane. But it happens with every team. It's just a matter of perspective. But from my perspective, the Braves it was nobody cared about the fucking Braves.
All teams with like these big fan bases probably started out that way, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like, why the fuck do I care about them? They fucking just built a stadium. It looks like shit in the middle of the city. Fuck this team. And then they start winning, and people get on the hype train, and then all of a sudden, 30 years later, you got a whole city that's full of fans. Big Woo 14 for 5. I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. I can't stand the Dodgers, but either city do not deserve a championship team. Shout out from the East Bay area. Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Shout out to Bryson Gray for having the #1 song on
that
iTunes.
Song is hot.
Let's go, Brandon.
There's 2 of the top 3 songs on iTunes are Let's Go, Brandon.
That's so good.
Lethal Lightning for Aussie $5. David Warner with the golden duck the other day. What a useless cheating stooge he is. He holds his wife's hands while she is having the train ran on her. That's got to be some fucking Australian football or something. The Prodigal Heel for 5. Sign stealing is fake news ripped off from Patriots. And then for another $5, he says, Astros and Braves always put on a good series. Look up NLCS 2005. That's the one you're talking about, John.
Yep.
Pats Nation for 2. I bet Springer punching air right now. Hey, he left to go. He went to the Blue Jays, right?
Yeah, he went to the Blue Jays. Ooh, we got a Carlos Correa problem probably coming up here pretty soon because he needs to get paid.
Mm-hmm. Jason Gaines for 5. For the first time since '99, my Braves are in the World Series. Also, I'm glad the Astros cheated in 2017. They eliminated the cheating Yankees. Yeah. Thank you, Jason. Mike Hill for 5. Missed the good old days like Sammy Sosa versus Mark McGwire showdowns. That era was what, like,
1998. That was amazing.
I had always been I grew up watching WGN in the summers. I was literally on all the time. I had it was funny. I had a shitty fucking TV that we had in the garage, and I'd turn on WGN and I would play basketball outside the driveway, and like we'd fucking listen to the games. So I'd turn the radio on, whatever, like every fucking summer. But it wasn't until 98 that it was like, that was thing. Cause it was the perfect time. I was 10 years old. I was already in love with baseball. And then you have Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire going back and forth that whole season long. I was checking the papers every day. Like it was fucking so cool, man.
It was such a different world, man. Just bringing up WGN, cause they would always have, the Chicago sports and everything. And, man, it was such a different world back then. It was a better world too.
Yeah, TBS had Braves games and WGN had fucking Cubs games. Nation fucking wide. Baseball was different then.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. We're caught up on there. What the fuck? Get out of here.
What are you talking about?
Like I refreshed and like some random ad popped up on Streamlabs. It's like, Yeah, we already pay for this fucking service on Streamlabs. Shut the fuck up and like let me see my shit without ads popping up on this. President like Archie Bunker for 5. You guys are looking good. Terry Bradshaw reference. Did you catch the insanity that was the Chicago Sky Victory Parade? Why didn't they call in the National Guard to tame that crowd down? Yes, we did catch it. We made a video. I know you guys made a video as well, John.
Yeah,
that was so funny.
I roasted them. Then I did include in their defense the actual crowd that was there at the beginning of the parade and the one that was at the at Millennium Park at the end. There was probably like between 5,000 to 10,000 people. You know, that's legitimately what it was, and that's fucking sad. Especially when the Chicago Cubs, they estimated that about 5 million people came in some shape or form to go watch the Cubs parade. That was it's like one of the biggest gatherings of human beings in recorded history, and one of the smallest for the WNBA.
It's so embarrassing. What's up, Drunk 3PO? Drunk 3PO
here.
Yeah,
Sammy Sosa does look different now.
He looks.
I have Sammy Sosa's rookie card where he's just like skinny as a fucking rail for the White Sox. He had like a fucking mullet thing going on too.
Mm-hmm.
Little different.
Yep.
He
little
changed.
Different now.
And then he changed his skin.
Yeah.
But before we end the stream and start focusing on football for today, there's a big play. Oh my God. The Patriots just had a pass out to the wide receiver who then threw it downfield. The Patriots do that shit all the time, man. How's no one ready for that? Nelson Aguilar touchdown pass. Anyway, the NBA may have its own problem on their hands when it comes to China because Enes Kanter does not seem to want to shut up and dribble like the NBA probably wants. Enes Kanter continues to speak out about China, about the atrocities that are going on, calling them out time and time again. And he doubled down, calls on the heartless dictator of China to free the Uyghur people. Not only is he speaking out with videos on social media, he's wearing these on the floor. Free Uyghurs. He also did one for Free Tibet the other day. And as a result of that, China has banned Boston Celtics games from being broadcast in China on a Tencent streaming. Guys, this is a big deal because the Tencent deal is huge massive for the NBA. Adam Silver's talked about it a lot. Their partnership with China is very important to them. Daryl Morey speaking out a few years ago, resulting in them having to bend the knee. What do you guys see happening from this? We'll start with Jeremy.
No, I think this is beautiful. And what's ultimately going to happen, and we talked about this before the show started, was it's going to get to the point where the NBA is going to tell him to shut up and dribble. And that's going to be beautiful because the NBA, this is what happens. Again, this is what happens when you, the NBA, have all of these false narratives that you're trying to push, letting players wear their social justice propaganda on the back of their jerseys and all that bullshit. And again, that's fine if you want to allow that door to be open. The problem is this is going to be the result when you're going to let players have freedom of expression. It's going to get to a point where they're going to start upsetting major business partners of yours, major places that bring in hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. And we know people like LeBron James are scared to death to upset China. And now watching this all play out, they deserve it. And I hope he continues to speak out. I've seen him on like Getter. I've seen him on social media speaking out. And there is no way the NBA can be happy about this. And you get what you deserve. You get what you deserve. You open this door. You try to empower these players to speak their minds. And now it's going to backfire on you. So I hope he keeps it up. I hope he does not let up. And I hope he inspires others to start speaking out. And I hope at some point there's players that start, because once one person starts that trend, it starts opening up dialogue for other people. I hope we get to a point where some of these players start pushing some Let's Go Brandon stuff, you know, from here in the States. And then we'll see how the NBA responds to that. But China, this is going to be a problem for the NBA, and they deserve it. So go ahead, Adam Silver, tell him to shut up and dribble. I can't wait for that to happen because I know a few sports channels that'll be covering it.
Yep. What do you think about it, John?
Well, there's no doubt the NBA, because I don't think Enes Kanter is going to shut up.
No.
I believe that the NBA is going to force him to shut up because China getting rid of all Celtics games. What's the next step? Getting rid of all NBA games. The NBA does not want to take that hit, so they will tell Enes Kanter to shut up. No doubt about it. It's only a matter of time. If he's doubling down now, he's going to come out and say more stuff. Now, I don't agree with everything that Enes Kanter has said, when it comes to the jab and everything. He's not going to be quiet on this. Adam Silver, LeBron James, they're probably going to come out and publicly tell him to shut up, bend down to China, or else we're going to lose our business with them. And the NBA is already dying in America. The only thing they got now is China.
Well, the tough thing is going to be is what kind of leverage are they going to try to hold over him? Enes Kanter has proven that he very much is his own dude. Enes Kanter's, I think he had like the arrest warrant put out for him in Turkey and like all these things for speaking out before. I don't know if he's someone that's just going to be like, okay, what, you're going to not let me play in the NBA anymore? I already have money. Like, so it's going to be tough. And what we say all the time is all we want is consistency. So NBA, if you're going to let your players wear Black Lives Matter on their shirts, praise career criminals when they get rightfully shot by the police, if you're going to have all these things happen, you better let Enes Kanter continue to speak, because if you don't, like Jeremy said, we are going to call your ass out and we are going to roast you over and over again if you try to silence Enes Kanter. And I don't think this is going away anytime soon. The NFL definitely has a big problem on their hands, or the NBA has a big problem on their hands.
Yep, absolutely. And it's going to be beautiful to watch it all play out. And that's ultimately all that I care about in this situation. I don't care what the rule is. I care about consistency of the rule. So again, if you're going to open the dialogue to where players can speak out, then I better not see you silencing players that speak out against things that you don't want them to say, because that's not how that works. And that's either have rules and enforce those rules or don't. But the lack of consistency in the rules is what our big problem always is. Like Dana White does it perfectly. Dana White does it perfectly in the UFC. You never see Dana White going, oh, you guys can't say that particular thing. You can say whatever else you want, but you can't say that. No, like he's like, whatever, say what you want. I'm friends with Trump. You want to trash Trump? Go for it. That's fine. Because Dana White is a true leader, and he allows the people at the UFC to say whatever they want. That's not how the NBA works.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we have any other super chats that came in. I think
Derek Henry just do a touchdown pass.
He did. Yeah, it happened while I was like, I want to record this, so I didn't say anything. But yeah, it did happen. Derek Henry threw a touchdown pass.
He's a beast, dude. He's a beast.
All right. I think we're good. All right, guys, we're all caught up. We got NFL going. John, what do you guys got going on at Black and White Sports?
Not a whole lot going on right now. Still planning something in the future. Not gonna bring that up yet, but that's pretty much it.
All right. Hell yeah. Jeremy, what do we got going on?
Mario Kart tonight, main channel. Main Geeks and Gamers channel, and then a Twitch channel. So make sure you guys tune in for that. It's going to be crazy. We've set records the last 2 or 3 weeks now in a row for that. So, and then obviously we got Tuesday night's main event over on the Geeks and Gamers main channel. Probably going to have some really cool guests on this week. That show's been doing fantastic. And I'm really happy for my boy Ryan. His channel's killing it. RK Outpost is on fire. Patriot Outpost is doing good. Super happy for him, and Sports Wars is doing its thing too. We're doing great. So see you guys tonight.
Hell yeah. All right, guys, thanks for being here. We will talk to you later. Peace.